All right, Junior, we're here to talk Logan Paul versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 41. What's good, buddy?
What's good? How we doing?
We're doing good. Out of 10, how excited are you for this said match?
I give it a 6. I mean, the match quality is going to be really, really good. Build has been whatever. But I'll tell you, like, two high flyers, like AJ can work, Logan can work. I don't think you can go wrong with a match here. So 6 out of 10, I would say, is where I'm at right now. But, it could grow within the next few days.
Actually, that's probably accurate. Like you said, they should have a really good match, and it's been kind of whatever. I think tonight on Monday Night Raw that we saw Karrion Kross get involved, but a lot of this has been carried by Karrion Kross's like spookiness. I wonder if that will play into the match. Not necessarily Karrion Kross coming out getting involved, but maybe like the preludes to him saying that AJ is not mentally prepared, he's too old, he's not training correctly, and so on and so forth. That he has to look past Kross or whatever. So maybe AJ comes and maybe overlooks Logan or isn't physically prepared, even though AJ is in phenomenal strength and phenomenal condition, but he is closer to 50 or at 50, right? And Logan Paul is what, 30?
Yeah,
if
30.
not really, late 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
So there's a conditioning factor there that they could play into, a strength factor, whatever. But overall, let's talk Logan Paul at the end, but where are you at this stage of AJ Styles in his career? How do you feel for him? Like, where are your thoughts on him? Where's your fandom for him overall? And kind of what are you thinking?
So, well, I mean, when I was watching in 2016, I mean, that's good times with SmackDown. That's when AJ is champ.
Yeah.
So, I'll always have love for AJ. And I think he's a stud too. But, he's getting older, like talent's getting younger. But I do think he's going to be done soon. I wouldn't mind for him to get a good run towards the end of his career, and it's obviously deserved as well too. But, I think this could be a good match. I don't think he wins it here, but I do think he could have a good run this 2025 year. Could maybe see him facing Cena, that clash in Paris. That's a big talk going along.
Stole my words right there, buddy.
Yeah, I could see him facing Cena, have them run it back, have a different dynamic. I think that'd be pretty cool. But like he'll always be in big matches. Like this is a big match. Like they're two huge names in the wrestling world. Like there's something to be said for like having a match with Logan Paul. It's important when you're wrestling him.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I was going to say, 2016 SmackDown, right? AJ Styles, in my opinion, is one of John Cena's top 5, 6, 7 opponents of John Cena's illustrious career. So I would not mind them seeing AJ Styles and John Cena ran back. Perhaps AJ Styles could do good from a victory here, right? And face John Cena at a pay-per-view coming up, and it'd be warranted, right? So maybe a victory can go a long way here for Styles, and maybe we should play that into our factor when we get to the end here and we do a predictor, right? So interesting. You kind of got my gears spinning on that one. Yeah, so AJ Styles, he's on like the 17th hole of his career, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's been a great career. It's been a great run in the WWE, and it's unbelievable that he spent more time in the WWE than TNA because he is so synonymous with the name, the words TNA, right? So that's crazy too to look at here now. He's coming up on his 9th year in the WWE.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. And he's everything he's done is felt important too. Like he's always been in big money feuds. So it's another one of those, and I think he's gonna try. This is gonna be a killer match.
Mind you, when we get to the end, I want to put it in now. He has not won a singles match at WrestleMania since WrestleMania 35 against Randy Orton in 2019. So it could be due.
Right. Yeah, he could be due.
Could be due. All right, Logan Paul. 2 years ago, we did Logan Paul's first singles match at a WrestleMania when he went on to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 39. We did that preview. I tasted a prime, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. Okay. So that's a trip down memory lane right there, Junior. But where do you think Logan Paul is in his career? This is actually his 4th WrestleMania match and his 5th WrestleMania appearance in a row.
Yeah. And honestly, like he keeps getting bigger and bigger year by year. Like you look at his opponents, you go Miz and or he tagged Miz, but he goes Ray and Dominic. Then you go to Seth Rollins and you go to Randy and KO. Like year by year, you're growing. AJ, obviously, another huge name, but like, man, Logan Paul is great. And I think like I'm fine with either guy winning, but I think Logan Paul is the right winner here, and I think you can do a lot with him with this year too.
We keep bringing up Cena here, but I could see Logan Paul being a Cena opponent. Perhaps now it's a little muddy with Cena being like a bad guy, but
Mhm.
man, I'm going to bring something up later for Logan Paul, like a scenario, and I think John Cena would fit that scenario. So,
Okay.
as we transition to that scenario, Logan Paul, which titles would be in his future? WWE/World Heavyweight or a US/Intercontinental title run? Where do you see him going, in the main events or the mid card title wise?
I see a main event. Honestly, like as much as people say he had a bad title reign with the US, like he brought some good numbers to it. Like he was a big draw. And I think like if you want to talk about scenarios, like you give Logan the win here, I think he's a good feud for Jey Uso to start out, good hot heel. I
Okay.
think that's something like if you're gonna give Jey Uso a big money opponent to start out, like you start with Logan. I think like he's kind of the star and he's gonna win here.
All right. Yeah, I kind of like that too as well. That's a really interesting first feud because Jey Uso is kind of getting to that mainstream, right?
Yeah,
And you suspect that he's going to be even more guided to that mainstream coming out of WrestleMania if he wins with the viral videos, with the yeeting
yeah,
and all that stuff.
that's
AJ
right.
Logan Paul would be an outstanding first opponent. Junior, you're
Right.
bringing the heat tonight, my man.
Of course, come on, I know my stuff.
All right, we'll see if you know this now. I was going to pivot and say, I don't know. I don't think he's going to win the World Heavyweight or WWE. I don't think he's going to win the US or IC. I would kind of focus Logan Paul in a tag team and have him go for the tag team titles on Raw or SmackDown, maybe even, right? And off the top of your head with the rip, you seem intrigued. Who would you think of a partner for him?
I mean, the first person to come to mind is Jake Paul, just
Ah,
because he's his brother. But if I were to say a wrestler, probably Dom Mysterio. We've seen them get together on TV. We've seen the chemistry they got. And I feel like that would be an obvious one, but I don't know who else would because he's kind of hated by everyone. As a character, he's hated by everyone.
you try to say Logan Paul is going to join the Judgment Day? Like,
No. I feel, and here's another thing, Logan Paul, this doesn't really involve him, but as much as people don't believe it, I could maybe see even a Dom Mysterio babyface turn coming soon.
okay, yeah, I can see that kind of
With the reactions to Penta last.
Yeah, I can see that stewing up. All right. Why not John Cena and Logan Paul tag champs?
Because that's not happening. John Cena, because like John Cena, his retirement tour, they're not going to make him a tag team guy, and I think they
carry
just
the belt and be a part of his journey.
yeah,
That's good Raw stuff.
yeah. But I mean, like you've seen Logan Paul like chirp him online, say like what a fraud he is and stuff, even when they're both heels. So I don't know. I can't really see John Cena running the tag team division. I'm gonna see him definitely running the main event, but I don't see him really being a guy to work with other people. I think they're just gonna put him in a lot of like meaningful singles feuds. Nothing really like to do with factions or other teams or against. So I think it's just gonna be a lot of big money singles feuds.
It could lead to an eventual late summer match with Cena and Paul, and it could be a transition from Cena out of heel because he should end the year as a babyface. How
Agreed.
about OMOS? That
No,
was the heater I was going to bring. OMOS and Logan Paul.
no, that's not happening. You haven't seen the dude on TV in forever.
Exactly. He brings.
I don't think you bring in the dynamic of the giant and the little guy. Not that Logan's little, but he's a little bit smaller. I don't think they do that. I think Logan's a single guy at heart.
He appears at WrestleMania 41 to help Logan Paul win against his old tag team partner, ajstyles. Let's cook it up, brother. I love it.
That's a good point. I don't know. I think this one's going to be simple, easily booked, like, not overbooked. They're just going to let him go out and let him have a good match.
All right. Before we pick our winner, one last thing. Is this a consolation match for Logan Paul, right? That you could see him flirting with Punk. He was kind of hovering around, maybe being like a pseudo John Cena opponent if things didn't really work out before the Rumble. Is this a consolation prize? Because AJ Styles, it warrants a WrestleMania match 110%.
Mm-hmm.
But is it the match that kind of should have been for Logan Paul? Because let me just kind of spit it out to you, right? They kind of made sure Seth Rollins is in that main event. it seems like it's a lot of politic driven to make sure those three guys are in the main event.
Mhm.
Logan Paul already did it with Roman Reigns. He already did it with Seth Rollins, so they weren't options. CM Punk found himself in the main event, politically or not. That match is what it is. So it seemed like Logan Paul was kind of being held for a CM Punk match, but CM Punk's occupied, and then kind of is AJ the last biggest star hanging around that would warrant a one-on-one match is kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. And like again, what were you gonna do with them? Like maybe you could have done Braun Breaker, but you don't want to have put Logan Paul in a title match. I mean, like if he's in a title match, more than likely, if it's a mid card, he's probably gonna win.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him, like Punk. I don't think that WrestleMania was the right place for it. Drew doesn't make sense. Priest doesn't really make sense. AJ's a babyface, makes a lot of sense. They got, comparing styles. I think the AJ makes the most sense, although it may not have as much heat and it's kind of a consolation match, but it's what they were left with.
I think they would benefit from a strong 14 minutes. Anything past that, where they have this rest holds and there's kind of wrestling in the middle of the ring and not really working to their strengths.
Right.
They might benefit from going shorter and acceleration and kind of down each other's throat.
Yeah.
And really kind of be having a lot of urgency instead of, that Edge and AJ Styles match that they had a few years ago that was good, but could have been trimmed 5-10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike, we're here at the end. Who you got?
I got to go Logan. I'm going to go Logan. I think he's going to have a big year. I do think he's going to face Uso at some point, saying Uso wins, even if he's with, but I don't see Logan Paul losing. It's a thing with him. Like if it's a big singles match and there's no title on the line, really, typically Logan Paul wins, whether that's brass knucks. I can't see it. There's no world where Logan Paul loses here.
So this is similar to the Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre match where one of these guys will probably be needed for a world title match sooner than later. So let's give them a WrestleMania win. If you see AJ Styles win, suspect him to go on and face
John Cena.
Whoever. Yep. But now if Logan Paul wins, Jey Uso right away. I love it. So good shit. All right, Junior, I'll see you this weekend when you come over and eat all the pizza at my house.
Oh yeah, all that food is gonzo.
All right, guys. See you on the next one.